Welcome, have a nice day. Today is Monday, 27th of January 2025. The International Day on January 27th is known as the International Holocaust Remembrance Day, commemorating the victims of the Holocaust, specifically marking the liberation of the Auschwitz-Birkenau concentration camp by Soviet troops on January 27, 1945. Significance is that it serves as a day to remember the millions of Jews and other minorities murdered by Nazi Germany during the Holocaust. It was actually chosen on 27th of January, who chosen due to the liberation of the Auschwitz on this day. United Nations recognition. The United Nations General Assembly officially designated January 27th as the International Holocaust Remembrance Day. From the Indian history point of view, January 27th is primarily known as for the passing of Mughal Emperor Humayun, who died on the date in 1556, leaving a significant impact on the Mughal Empire. Additionally, the establishment of the Imperial Bank of India, which later became the State Bank of India, also occurred on the same day, January 27, marking a crucial moment in Indian banking history. So these two key points are death of Humayun and establishment of the Imperial Bank of India. Now, starting the newspaper analysis with the world news, including investigators see cause of a Palisades fire as rain brings relief in Los Angeles. Canada, Colombia, and the Trump effect, how Trump's policies are reshaping global relations. Hamas to release 6 hostages, Israel to allow Gazans to return to the north this week. United States imposes 25% tariff on Colombian goods amid deportation dispute between the Trump Gustavo strike lays off 300 employees, sent cartoon duck image by mistake. I think we are going to have it. Donald Trump reiterates United States will purchase Greenland. Now, from the Hindu newspaper, we had a brief discussion, including in which Hamas to release an Israeli hostage and allow Palestinians into the northern Gaza, says Qatar. Trucks carrying Egyptian humanitarian aid wait to start moving to the Rafah border, crossing the enter Gaza, aimed at ceasefire between the Israel and the Hamas in Cairo, Egypt, January 26, 2025. The statement from the Qatar, a mediator in ceasefire talks, said Hamas will hand over the civilian hostage Arbal Yahud along with the 2 other hostages before the Friday. Qatar announced early Monday, January 27, 2025, that an agreement has been reached to release an Israeli civilian hostage and allow Palestinians to return to the northern Gaza, easing the first major crisis of the fragile ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. The statement from Qatar, a mediator in a ceasefire talk, said Hamas will hand over the civilian hostage Arbal Yahud along with the 2 other hostages before Friday, and on Monday, Israel authorities will allow Palestinians to return to the northern Gaza. White House says Israel and Lebanon have extended a deadline for troop withdrawal to February 18. Israeli soldiers walk after a ceasefire between the Israel and Hezbollah took effect near the Israel's border with the Lebanon in northern Israel on January 26, 2025. Israel has said that it needs to stay longer because the Lebanese army has not deployed to all the areas of southern Lebanon to ensure that Hezbollah does not re-establish its presence in the area. The White House said Sunday, January 26, 2025, that Israel and Lebanon have agreed to extend the deadline for Israeli troops to depart southern Lebanon until February 18, after Israel requested more time to withdraw beyond the 60-day deadline stipulated in a ceasefire agreement that halted the Israeli-Hezbollah war in the late November month. Israel has said that it needs to stay longer because the Lebanese army has not deployed to all areas of the southern Lebanon to ensure that Hezbollah does not re-establish its presence in the area. The Lebanese army has said it cannot deploy until Israeli forces withdraw. United States Colombia clash over deportations and raise tariffs in the show of Trump's pledge to limit migration. President Donald Trump and Gustavo Petro, in the series of social media posts, defend their views on migration. Colombia has traditionally been the United States' top ally in the Latin American, but their relationship has strained since Mr. Petro, a former guerrilla, became Colombia's first leftist president in 2022. The United States and the Colombia, long close partners in anti-narcotics efforts, clashed Sunday, January 26, 2025, over the deportation of migrants, and imposed tariffs on each other's goods in a show of what countries could face if they intervene in the Trump administration's crackdown on illegal immigration. President Donald Trump and Gustavo Petro, in a series of social media posts, defended their views on migration, with the latter accusing Trump of not treating immigrants with the dignity during the deportation and announcing a retaliatory 25% increase in the Colombian tariffs on the United States goods. Now, going towards the Hindustan Times newspaper states that Sisodia to be my deputy chief minister, says Kejriwal at Delhi rally. Arvind Kejriwal and Manish Sisodia in New Delhi. With the Delhi Assembly election round of the corner, the Aam Aadmi Party chief Arvind Kejriwal on Sunday addressed public gatherings at various places in the city, urging people to choose welfare-centric schemes or an additional burden of around rupees 25,000 per month, which they will have to face if the Bharatiya Janata Party comes to power. Indonesian team briefed on BrahMos missile. BrahMos Aerospace CEO Jitirat R. Roshi with the Indonesian Navy Chief Admiral Muhammad Ali. A top-level Indonesian delegation visited the BrahMos Aerospace headquarters and was briefed on the capabilities of the supersonic cruise missile. The company said on Sunday the delegation was led by the Indonesian Navy Chief Admiral Muhammad Ali. The development came at a time when Indonesia is engaged in negotiations with India on acquiring the missile system, and two sides have reached a broad understanding on the pricing of the deal, expected to be worth around $450 million. A high-level delegation headed by the Chief of the Staff, Admiral Muhammad Ali of the Indonesian Navy, visited BrahMos Aerospace and interacted with the Dr. Jitirat R. Joshi and other senior officials from the JV enterprise. The delegation was apprised of supersonic BrahMos weapon system and its formidable capabilities, BrahMos Aerospace posted on platform X on Sunday. India-Indonesia pledge to deepen defense economic ties. President Draupadi Murmu, Vice President Jagdeep Dhankhar, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and the President of the Indonesia, Prabowo Subianto, during the at-home reception on the occasion of the 76th Republic Day at the Rashtrapati Bhavan. India and Indonesia on Sunday set the tune for deepening their defense and economic engagement through a raft of measures, including New Delhi pledging to support the Southeast Asian nations' defense modernization programs through the experience and the expertise sharing, and the two sides taking steps to resolve outstanding tariffs and non-tariffs barrier to trade, said a statement issued on the state visit of President Prabowo Subianto, who was the chief guest at Sunday's Republic Day celebrations. Now, going towards the economy of the country from the budget point of view, MSME Center may review import barriers that protect the big players from metals and textiles to chemicals and energy. The Indian Express studied multiple cases where import restrictions, tariffs and non-tariff have led to market concentration and increased cost for downstream users across the sectors. 6 months back, in her budget speech in July 2024, Finance Minister Ms. Nirmala Sitharaman had proposed a comprehensive review of customs duty rates to rationalize the simplify it for ease of trade and removal of duty inversion and reduction of the dispatches. Lavesh Bhandari need to focus on labor laws and land and steel speed of overburdened judicial system. There are many ways for protecting workers, but instead of protecting the workers' job, why don't we protect the workers' consumption or income? A difficult labor law regime prevents businesses from managing their operations well. Amrit Bharat 2.0 train to Kashmir covers to be among the highlights for the railways in budget. Amrit Bharat train sets have a total of 22 coaches with the locomotives on both ends. These trains have provisions for a dining car and with sleeper facilities. The train will also have modern passenger amenities such as foldable snack table, mobile holder, foldable bottle holder, and more such facilities. Now going towards science and tech, we have the Maharashtra records first suspected death due to the Guillain-Barré syndrome. Cases in Pune cross 100. Guillain-Barré syndrome (GBS) is an autoimmune neurological disorder in which the person's immune system attacks their peripheral nerves. The clinical report and autopsy reports of the disease prima facie suggests cause of death as GBS. A Pune-based patient has died after contracting Guillain-Barré syndrome (GBS). He passed away in the Maharashtra's Solapur district, where he was visiting his native village for personal work. Meanwhile, the over 100 cases of the GBS have now been recorded in the Pune. The deceased had symptoms of cold, cough, experienced breathing difficulties, and was hospitalized for the same on January 18 in a private hospital in Solapur. He was the first placed in the ICU ward, but later shifted to the regular room after the showing improvement. However, his health started deteriorating with difficulty in breathing, and he later passed away in the hospital's ICU unit where he had been admitted. The deceased also experienced a paralysis in his limbs prior to his demise. Also, astronomers detected the ferocious jet streams winds on alien planet. An undated artist's impression of a WASP 127b, a gate gas planet located about 520 light years from the Earth, shows its newly discovered supersonic winds. Astronomers have detected winds howling at about 33,000 km per hour on a puffy exoplanet called WASP 127b. In the Earth's upper atmosphere, a fast-moving band of air called the jet stream blows with the winds of more than 442 km per hour, but they are not the strongest in our solar system. The comparable high-altitude winds on Neptune reach about 2000 km per hour. Those, however, are a mere breeze compared to the jet streams winds on a planet called the WASP 127b. Astronomers have detected winds howling at about 33,000 km per hour on this large gaseous planet located in our Milky Way galaxy, approximately 520 light years from the Earth in a tight orbit around the star similar to our Sun. Central Bureau of Investigation (CBI) to set up a crackdown on the cybercrime syndicates by coordinating with the international agencies. The CBI, Central Bureau of Investigation, coordinates between the various Indian law enforcement agencies and their counterparts in other countries to help solve such transnational crimes, besides cases of economic offenses and drug human trafficking. The Central Bureau of Investigation intensifies global crackdown on cyber criminal syndicates, including lone wolf perpetrators, using a Bharat Poll for real-time action and cooperation. The Central Bureau of Investigation (CBI), in coordination with the domestic and international law enforcement agencies, will this year further intensify action against cyber criminals operating as syndicates with links in multiple countries. In many cases, lone wolf perpetrators have also been found indulging in online frauds using various modus operandi. Now, at last, there is a very famous scientist of India. His full name is Sir Chandrasekhar Venkata Raman, C.V. Raman, whose birth anniversary is 7 November 1888 up to 21st of November 1970. Known simply as C.V. Raman, was an Indian physicist known for his work in the field of light scattering. Using a spectrograph that he developed, he and his student K.S. Krishnan discovered that when light traverses a transparent material, the reflected light changes its wavelength. This phenomena, headed to a known type of scattering of light, which they call modified scattering, was subsequently termed as the Raman effect or Raman scattering. In 1930, Raman received the Nobel Prize in Physics for this discovery and was the first Asian and the first non-white to receive a Nobel Prize in any branch of science. In 1917, he was appointed as the first Polite Professor of Physics by Ashutosh Mukherjee at the Rajbaza Science College under the University of Calcutta. On his first trip to Europe, seeing the Mediterranean Sea motivated him to identify the prevailing explanation for the blue color of the sea at the time. namely the reflected ray scattering light from the sky as being incorrect. He founded the Indian Journal of Physics in 1926, moved to Bangalore in 1933 to become the first Indian director of the Indian Institute of Science. He founded the Indian Academy of Sciences. The same year, he established the Raman Research Institute in 1948, where he worked to his last days. The Raman effect was discovered on the 28th of February 1928. The day is celebrated annually by the Government of India as the National Science Day. Mr. C.V. Raman says a very famous quotation. He says that success can come to you by the courageous devotion to the task lying in front of you. Okay, thank you.